One of the most daunting things to do is to cold approach a stranger. What do you do? What do you say? How do you even go about it? If you're like most people, you probably overthink approaching people. You get this feeling of immediately wanting to shut it down with your intrusive thoughts. Your insecurities start to shine through, your lack of confidence becomes amplified, and eventually you just stall. You start overthinking and playing out the entire interaction in your head. It becomes too much and you just decide not to approach that person. So how do you actually start approaching people and breaking past these mental barriers you have in your mind? Before I answer this, I want to start with being vulnerable about myself. I was always the guy who would be way too afraid to approach somebody. I would make excuses where I told myself I just need to focus on me because it doesn't matter, and I just never did things to get out of my comfort zone. I say this because all throughout high school I never had any focus on approaching people. All I thought about was lifting weights and doing good in school. I didn't think about anything else. It's literally all I did. But I also never did the things that get outside my comfort zone. I didn't approach girls. I didn't approach people I thought were interesting. I didn't go try to make new friends. It wasn't until after high school where I had the mental shift of starting to actually be comfortable approaching people. When I started making content, that's when this became my biggest opportunity. So I run a brand with a few friends, and one of the biggest things that we do is cold approach people. And usually it's people we've never met, and we literally do this every single week. And at first it was scary. Literally all of us would stall. We would be too afraid of approaching people because of our fear of rejection, because of what could possibly happen. But really it was just because we were just overthinking it. But over time we kept breaking this barrier with ourselves, and we kept approaching people. And now I love approaching people, and I see the power of it. I still get that hesitant feeling, but after every single time I get past it, I feel proud of myself. And here's a little story that proves it. And the next time we were at FSU, we were filming a video where we played our deep question card game with strangers. I saw these two girls laying down on the grass just vibing and eating snacks. I felt so much hesitation to approach them, but I said fuck it and I did it anyway. I walked up and asked them if they'd be down to play our game, and they ended up saying yes. It turned out to be such a beautiful experience, one of the best performing videos we ever had. I laid down in between them, one on my left, one on my right, and we played a round of our game, How Deep Will You Go? And it was just a really meaningful experience. It all happened because I got over my fear of approaching them, and having these experiences gave me a realization. The biggest benefit of cold approaching is being able to practice extroversion. I've noticed most people in my life are introverts, but I've also noticed that they're the most unconfident people that I know. They only keep to themselves, but it's only because of the pain they feel with the thoughts of not keeping to themselves. You probably feel stuck in this little bubble, wondering why it's so hard for you to just go up and talk to people you want to talk to. But once you practice approaching people, that's when you get to burst the bubble. They overthink you, and you might be thinking, how do I even know if they want to talk to me? That's the point of the cold approach. You're not gonna know, and you're not even supposed to. Even the most confident people you know don't know if the person they're approaching wants them to be approached. They just do it. And truly confident people still feel rejection, but they don't let it affect them. And when you get comfortable with the idea of rejection, that's when real confidence comes. Real confidence is built from being able to take rejections, but not letting them affect the next time you approach somebody. So here's how you finally get over that fear of rejection. You just have to do it. And by this, I mean you just have to start approaching people. It sounds so obvious, but you need to realize that you don't have a problem with approaching people. You have a problem with the way you think of approaching people, because you probably don't even do it. So the issue is not with actually approaching somebody, it's all the thoughts you get when you think about approaching them. You create all these fantasies in your mind of how it might go, how the rejection might be, how it might feel after this fucked up experience, and this leads to you not ever approaching them in the first place. So the first step is to actually approach somebody. Yes, you're gonna feel a ton of hesitation, but use that hesitation as your cue to take action. If you see that pretty girl want to approach her, do it. If you see a handsome dude and you want to approach him, go do it. If somebody interests you and you just want to go up and compliment them, go do it. And if you have a specific person in mind when you watch this, next time you see them, just approach them. And I know you're overthinking this right now. In the moment, you'll be wondering what to do with your eye contact, with your body language. What do you say? How do you say it? Are you calm enough? Don't worry about any of that. Your first step is just to lead the interaction and actually approach these people. So I want to share a few tips that might make you feel a little bit at ease. And what I mean by this is when you want to approach somebody, you don't have to make all these cues in your head of fuck, stay calm, what do I say? All right, I'm gonna do this. You just have to make that hesitation your cue to just go up to them with no game plan and just do what you do best, which is being you. And when you approach people, lead with a genuine smile. When you approach somebody with a smile, it automatically creates inviting energy. And when that inviting energy is created, it makes the interaction that much easier, especially on the other person. But if you're super introverted and you want to start with something a little easier, Just start by complimenting people. If you see somebody with a nice outfit, just walk up to them and tell them that you like their outfit. Just make sure you lead with good eye contact and say it with a genuine smile. If it goes awkward, that's okay. Awkward shit happens, and it's only a big deal to you. Because if you zoom out and really think about it, any awkward experience you have could just turn into a funny memory if you let it become that. And let's say it feels a little bit awkward for the person you just complimented. That's okay. They're probably a little bit awkward too. The same way you're lacking confidence, they probably lack confidence too. You approaching them helps them grow just as it helps you grow, so embrace that. If I'm being totally honest, I still fear approaching people. I remember when me and the boys at Achieve You took a trip to LA. We went to UCLA, and for some reason that day I was feeling really unconfident. I had this really strong sense of hesitation with like everything we were doing, and I don't know, I had to do something to get out of my comfort zone. So I decided to do what might be the most simpy thing that I thought of, but my idea was I was gonna find attractive people and just take selfies with them. It would be a great way to get me out of my comfort zone, and it would also potentially make these people's day. And if I'm being totally honest, I was nervous as fuck. I'm getting out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna take a picture of somebody I think is beautiful. I'm usually not nervous. I'm actually usually am nervous, but not this fucking nervous. Hey, excuse me. I'm just going on campus.
Are you guys triplets?
Yeah, we're triplets.
Oh, I have a twin sister.
Do you really?
That's cool, yeah.
That's cool. I'm taking selfies with beautiful people. You want a selfie?
Sure.
Thanks. Have a good day. Dude, she's fucking beautiful. Hey, wait. I'm actually doing this thing today where I'm taking selfies with beautiful people. You want a selfie?
Yeah, of course.
Let's go. All right.
Okay, it was nice to meet you.
Good to see you. Dubs. Shit. She made me intimidated right there. Hey, excuse me.
Hi.
I'm going around campus today just taking selfies with beautiful people. Can I get a selfie with y'all?
No, sorry.
No? Okay, it's cool. Have a good one. I'm gonna tell y'all boys what confidence is. Confidence isn't having the same outcome every time. It's doing the action regardless of the outcome. Notice how at the end of that video I mentioned that confidence isn't built through positive outcomes, it's built through repetition. The same is true for approaching people. You're not gonna feel comfortable approaching people after the first time around, and you're not gonna have a positive experience every single time. But doing it consistently is gonna make it to where you start feeling that fear of rejection less, and it starts to become less and less of a big deal to you. You fear the bad experiences that might happen when you approach somebody, but you need to make the mental shift to embrace it. When you get the bad experiences and mix them with the good experiences, you start to realize that they don't have to be such a big deal. And with consistent action and consistently approaching people, you start to build courage, which is being able to approach somebody regardless of the fear you're feeling. I'm a pretty confident dude. I approach a lot of people, but I still feel that same hesitation pretty much every time. But the big thing is I'm becoming more and more okay with taking action with that discomfort I feel. In the description of this video, there's a thing called The Stain. The Stain is where I share meaningful life shit every single Monday, and usually it's stuff like this. It's experiences I have, how I become more confident, shit I do. It's free, and I write these because I kind of just need a canvas for my thoughts to share the things that I learned in my life so that maybe they'll help you too. So just sign up, you won't regret it.